Yo, what's going on, guys? Jared here. With the Blue Eye Structure deck that is finally released, there has been a lot of people online making a lot of different profiles and deck builds and stuff like that, between it just being 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon structure decks. There's been some topping regional lists that I've seen come out, some overall budget lists that are all pretty similar, I would say, from my scouring on YouTube. And I really wanted to make something a little bit different, something that at least plays an engine that is not played, that at least that I've seen on YouTube. Maybe I haven't scoured enough, but I couldn't find it on YouTube. But this is going to be an engine that I wanted to do because it's something that gives you a Omni Negate. There's actual value coming out of this. It also gives you the value of True Light on your opponent's turn, rather than just being able to summon Blue Eyes White Dragon and get really no value out of it, other than just getting back Blue Eyes and Maiden. At this point, you're actually able to get back Blue Eyes White Dragon and turn it into something. And the engine I'm actually talking about is the red-eyes+metalmorph engine. It's not really red-eyes, it's mostly just the metalmorph engine itself. There's really just one red-eyes card in here. This engine is very good, and it's still very budget friendly. The total cost of this deck, side and extra included, is around $70, give or take. That is very, very budget for modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And you are still able to push out boards with like 3 to 5 interruptions, depending on your hand. And there's still 1-2 card combos with normal Blue Eyes, etc., etc. I really like this deck, especially, again, because we are in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Where Omni Negates are really not present so much, and the Metamorph gives you options to have an Omni Negate to negate things like Talons, Thrust, Cosmic Cyclone on your True Light, things of that nature. So yeah, that's just something that I wanted to go over and talk to you guys about and show you guys the profile. And at the end, I have 2 combos that I wanted to show you too, just kind of showcasing how the cards work together a little bit. And if you guys enjoy the video, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And let's go ahead and jump right into it. So here is the deck list of what we have for the budget Blue Eyes deck. Again, it's about $70. Just very quickly, we got 3 Sage, 3 Wishes, 1 of the Roar, 3 Ash, 3 Maiden, 3 Where Art Thou. This card is very important in this deck, and when you're scouring online and you're trying to find ways to get into Maiden and Sage, because those are both the 2 most important cards in this deck by far, there really isn't a lot. It's so hard to get into level 1 spellcasters for some reason, like light spellcasters. It feels almost impossible. So when I was going through it, it turns out that Where Art Thou was actually just one of the best cards between this and Peri Reeves map. I actually prefer this over Peri Reeves map because this doesn't play in the draw as hard. You can actually choose where you want to get your search rather than Peri Reeves map being at the start of the main phase, and you're kind of just screwed if you search Sage. So I really wanted to avoid that if possible, but just keep in mind Peri Reeves map is definitely a viable option for this as well in your own Blue Eyes builds. 1 copy of Mausoleum of White, 3 Imperm, 2 Incoming Machine, 1 for 1, 2 copies of Max Metalmorph, 2 Blue Eyes White Dragon, 3 Effect Veiler, 3 Nibiru, 3 copies of Metal Illusionist, 1 Baldrake, 1 Magnemite, 1 copy of Majesty, 1 copy of True Light, 3 copies of Ogre, 1 Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon, and 1 Secret Village of the Spellcasters. For the side deck, 3 Droll, 3 Lancia, 3 Chaos Hunter, 1 Callby, 3 Judgment, and 2 Strike. Very simple and straightforward. And then for the extra deck, 1 Tyrant Dragon, 1 of the Neo Blue Eyes, 2 copies of Spirit, 1 Seal, 1 Moon Rose, 1 copy of Ultimate Spirit, 2 copies of Normal Spirit, 1 copy of Ancient Fairy, SP Little Knight, Lina, Access Code, Celine, and Link Spider. Shout out to Lucas Sacco for the little Link package. I think that was actually really smart, and I wanted to give him credit for that because I don't think I saw anybody else really playing that small package either. Especially the Lina. The Lina is really helpful in this deck because, especially if you're in the mirror match, obviously, being able to get that extra body is very nice, and it's also a little bit helpful against stuff like Fiendsmith, being able to take it, still going to Celine, and then do your lines from there. Now, what I really wanted to talk about is the Metamorph package. As you can see, we have 3 copies of Metal Illusionist. This and Sage with Eyes of Blue are really the 2 normal summons you want to be focusing on. And not only that, both of these are the level 1 spellcasters. This one's not a tuner, so it doesn't get full synergy as much as Sage does. But the fact that this is one is still very important because it allows you to go into your Spirit with Eyes of Blue. And this being able to set Max Metalmorph for your opponent's turn also allows you to be able to get value out of your True Light to turn it into the Red Eyes Full Metal Dragon, because you're distributing a level 5 or higher dragon monster, and Blue Eyes White Dragon meets that fulfillment. So you're able to get great value off of this. And then, even with the, the Floating Maiden of White that's going to be on your side of the field after you do that, there are some lines we're able to end with Secret Village as well, being searched off Ancient Fairy Dragon, and that really allows you to put like a super crippling M board on the field. You can get stuff like Spirit Dragon, Seal, and then the True Light into the Red Eyes Full Metal, possibly Majesty as well. Again, it just depends on what else is in your hand, but there's a lot of card and combos that can go into these types of M boards, and they're very, very strong. Obviously, Secret Village is one of the most broken cards ever, and the fact that you have Heavenly Seal to bounce back a normal summon and Moonrose to bounce back a special summon, very, very valuable. Of course, we have like the two Bestials in here. This Baldrake can also be Druiswarm. It's probably preferable for it to be Druiswarm, but something to keep in mind about Baldrake that I really like in this deck particular, again, is the True Light aspect of it. Usually Baldrake doesn't have anything else to tribute, and so it makes it really bad, but in Blue Eyes specifically, being able to go True Light for Blue Eyes for Maiden really gives you those light and dark monsters that you want to help use the secondary effect of Baldrake, which is very, very oppressive and forces your opponent into a lot of awkward positions. I was also able to fit 15 non-engine slots in here if you're not including Bestials. If you're including Bestials, 17 hand trap-esque cards. Again, like all of these come in the structure deck, which just feels absolutely crazy. And then I also decided to put Ogre and then the two Bestials in here, which I think are very worth it. Obviously very good right now in the format. And Ghost Ogre I decided to add because if Blue Eyes is going to be in the format, I want to be being able to Ogre True Light is very important. And at the same time, Ogering on Duo Drive is also very good. Plus Ogre on Haggard Wizardos and Whittle Knight against Malice is also very good. So you like Ogre hits like all of the decks, I would say, all of the main decks, this at least does something against. The worst engine it's probably against is Fiendsmith, but even then, it's Fiendsmith is going to be mixed with one of those three, and it's still just perfectly fine. The Where Art Thou 2000 burn, I really didn't want to use it with Piri-Rees map because I don't want to start the game at 2000 life points. I know a lot of the time life points doesn't matter in this game, but that's very low, and you could just kind of just die randomly, and I don't want that. When a lot of decks are struggling to kill currently, Where Art Thou and Piri-Rees map being able to lower you that much can really affect your actual gameplay. Having Majesty of White Dragons is in here if you want to go for a more low to the ground approach for some of your combos. Like if you don't have the Metal Illusionist, you can completely play around Nibiru with Spirit and Maiden, just going straight in the Spirit Dragon, setting this in the end phase and calling it a day. That's still very strong and good enough to survive until the crackback, of course. So overall, again, this deck is so cheap. I really like it. It's like, I think if you're tired of the normal Blue Eyes standard deck lists. I also really don't like the Neo Kaiser Seahorse, I think it's called. That's like the worst starter in my opinion. It's like an okay extender if you have it, but at the end of the day, I really just didn't like the way it felt in a lot of the hands. It felt more of like an awkward card than me liking it, so I decided to cut it. But again, this is just my little spicy different list. You don't have to, if you want to play Neo Kaiser, you definitely can. It's completely up to you. But again, everything is modifiable for this. But again, my main thing was just keeping it budget. That was definitely the biggest aspect that I wanted to go for. So, other than that, that's pretty much everything for the deck itself. I wanted to now jump over to the combos very quickly because I have two of them for you, and they're both using the Metal Illusionist. If you want to see other combos that aren't using this card, I will put the spreadsheet in the description of this video that I believe Vlad made. That's like way more standardized combos for Blue Eyes. But these, I just wanted to show two combos with this card specifically because you're not really going to get those from other places. Everything else is pretty standard though. So let's go ahead and jump right into those. So our first thing is going to be Metal Illusionist plus Where Art Thou. Just to kind of give you an idea of how this goes, you're going to go Metal Illusionist for the max Metalmorph, and then you are going to use Where Art Thou to search Maiden. I just accidentally sent it to Graveyard first, like a dummy. But yeah, Where Art Thou for Maiden, so you have this locked and loaded. Then you can use the Link one to get Mausoleum. Then you're able to use the Maiden to get True Light. Activate Mausoleum to target the Spirit to dump Blue Eyes White Dragon. Then you're able to use the Spirit to bring back the Blue Eyes, and then use the Maiden to bring itself back, and then go into the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. From here, you can just go to end phase, and then you're able to use True Light in the end phase to get Majesty. Again, if you get Nibiru here, you can get Nib because this is technically the 5th summon, but you always have True Light locked and loaded, which is the main thing. And then from here, you're able to get back these two on your opponent's turn because you use True Light, bring back Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes on summon will be able to revive the Maiden of White with her own effect. Then you can use the Max Metalmorph to tribute it off to be able to summon the Red-Eyes. This is an Omni Negate, by the way. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can just negate the activation, and then you can burn your opponent too, which is very nice. And then from there, you can use Spirit Dragon effect to either summon the Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon or the Moonrose as interruption. Either one work, and then you still have the Majesty to pop with the Blue Eyes White Dragon in the graveyard. So that is it for the first combo, and let's just go ahead and jump into the second combo. So the second combo is going to be Where Art Thou and Maiden of White. I wanted to do a little bit one that was a little bit more awkward because I think the Sage combos are way easier, where the Where Art Thou combos are definitely a little bit harder because you have to optimize where you're using your stuff, if that makes sense. So from here, you're going to use Maiden effect, get True Light effect, and you're going to get the Wishes. This is a Wishes line. I know these are usually riskier, but sometimes you just have to go for them. You're going to go Wishes effect to get Sage and the Roar. Normal summon the Sage, be able to grab Effect Veiler, so you pretty much traded any card in your hand for Effect Veiler anyway. Use the Roar to be able to summon Blue Eyes, and then you can use Maiden in the graveyard to summon itself back. Then you can use Where Art Thou to grab the Metal Illusionist. I know we're grabbing this super late, but it's completely fine, trust me. Then we can go into Spirit Dragon effect to summon Ancient Fairy. We can use Ancient Fairy's effect to special summon the Metal Illusionist. Use Illusionist to set the max Metalmorph. Then we are able to link this off into the link 1, because again, it's a level 4 lower dragon or spellcaster. This naturally is a spellcaster, but it also has the effect to change its type. And also, while I'm reading this, I wanted to make sure you guys know this too. While you have max Metamorph in the graveyard, if you use the first effect, you also just get a free draw. That's very important. And it also increases its level on your opponent's turn only. So on your turn, you're able to link it off because it's level 4 or lower. On your opponent's turn, it's level 5 or higher. So it itself can be used for max Metamorph to summon the red eyes also. So this is just like an Omni Negate by itself regardless. This card is very, very good. So yeah, anyway, we're going to use this to grab the Mausoleum, and then we are able to use Mausoleum, target Maiden, use Maiden's effect to special summon back out Blue Eyes, and then dump into the Blue Eyes White Dragon, use the Ancient Fairy to add Secret Village of the spellcasters, and then from here, we're able to go into Link to Heavenly Seal, and then go into a Spirit Dragon, activate the Secret Village, use True Light to be able to get back on your opponent's turn, and then use the Maiden to come back, so here is your spellcaster, and then we can use Max Metalmorph to summon out the Full Metal Dragon, and then they are locked out of spell cards. Any normal summon and attack, you are able to bounce back with the Heavenly Seal. Any like annoyance monster effects that they use, we can use Red Eyes Full Metal to negate it. We can also use Spirit Dragon to summon out Moonrose if they special and try to beat over the Maiden, or we can still, of course, summon the Ultimate Spirit Dragon. Really, both are fine. But yeah, we have so many things that we are able to stop our opponent with. So that is going to be it for the video. That's both combos I wanted to show. I think this deck is really good, especially for the $70 budget that we made. This is like very, very, like for that budget, that is kind of crazy that for a modern structure deck that this is where we're at with some of the combos that we're able to do. And even some of the modern engines that are printed in the full sets, like the full metal cards, I think are way better than people give them credit for, especially the Metal Illusionist. This is one of the craziest starters that we have. Be able to go into an Omni Negate and then later in the game be able to get a draw as well. Especially if you're able to get this on your opponent's turn, and this archetype is getting another card. It's another Red Eyes card, I believe, in the next set too, Alliance Insight. That is also very, very strong. So we'll see how that goes, but that's it for now. So overall, again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe if you did, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.